What's up guys and welcome. Today I will tell you how you can learn the straddle planche in less than 1 month, and I will share my experience and how I did it. I will give you a workout routine idea so that you will know what to do and that you see progress from week to week. For this video you do not need parallettes, but if you have some, they will definitely help. The straddle planche is a really impressive move, and if you work on it the right way, you will be surprised that it's actually not that difficult. I decided to split up the video into 4 parts of 4 weeks, starting from 0, while you will progress until you will be able to hold the straddle planche for at least 3 seconds. My name is Victor and I make fitness science related videos, and my goal is to make you stronger and brighten your knowledge, so don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date. And if you want to start with 5 easy calisthenics moves, check the link above. Let's start from 0, week number 1, the frog. Alright, this move is really the absolute prerequisite if you want to learn the straddle planche, and just requires a bit of coordination and balance. You basically start in this position while you twist your hands slightly towards the side, just like that. Then you go up with your legs so that you stand in this frog-like position, and then you simply lean to the front so that your thighs just lean on to your upper arm. We just try to get that motion, and we just go back, slightly to the front and back. If you understand this motion, you can simply get up with your legs. That means you lean to the front and you do not have to do anything. Your body goes up completely by itself. So, just like that. And then you try to hold this position. You can also make it a bit easier when you go with your knees on the upper arm. I mean, I personally find it a bit easier. That means we stick with the knees to the upper arms, we lean to the front, and then we just elevate our body. The main goal of this exercise is to give you a proper sense of coordination and give you also a bit body tension. Always when you try to do the planche, try to lean to the front as good as you can. Not like this, but more or less like this. When you do a real planche, for example, you also need to lean pretty much to the front, as this will make the whole planche easier. And because you lean to the front, you will have a pretty high impact on both wrists. You should definitely warm up your wrists to prevent injuries. Another very important point here is that you learn to stretch your arms completely, but we will go deeper into that in week 3. And just like in a handstand, you should use your fingers to balance yourself. If you can hold this position for a couple of seconds, you should start to play with that a bit. You should, for example, stretch one leg or the other one, or just do it on one leg, just like that. Try really to become comfortable in this position, as this will help you enormously if you want to learn the planche or straddle planche. And now we are already in week number 2, the tuck planche. As we learned a bit of body tension and balance in the first step, the next step is to really strengthen your core, as this is extremely important if you want to hold yourself in this position. You put your hands flat on the ground, and I would always advise you to twist them a bit to the side, as you will get already comfortable in that hand position, as you will need that if you do the planche or straddle planche. You just put your knees between your hands, and then you try to go up slowly and controlled. You just go up and down slowly, and this is all you have to do for now. If this is in the beginning still a bit too difficult, you can also take as help some books or even some dumbbells, so that they will give you some additional height, and then you just push up. Make sure that this is really on point. There might be the possibility that after the first week you might be able to hold this position already for a couple of seconds, and you just tend to skip this week. But I would definitely not recommend that, and I tell you why. The reason why so many people need like months or years to learn this straddle planche is simply because they rush. You cannot expect to have this straddle planche if you did not learn all the basics properly. If you will not be able to talk in this position here, then you just simply should repeat that more often. At the end of the first week, you should bring some variations in that. I mean, for example, you can do push-ups with your nose on the ground, or you can combine it with the previously learned frog. That means you start in this position, you go to the frog, then you go back, you do the frog, and so on. So you know what I mean. You should try to play with this move a bit and really get used to the different angles and motions. And now I will show you some exercises which are especially good for strengthening your core and getting used to this motion. What I really love are, for example, pseudo push-ups. What I also like are pike push-ups, or in general handstand push-ups are also great. Will strengthen your shoulders enormously. And yeah, L-sits, for example, are also very good, as they will engage your whole core as well. Turtle freezes and elbow levers are also amazing exercises, so make sure to include them as well. And if you want to learn 5 easy breakdance moves, check the link above. And now we reach the third week, the advanced tuck planche. So the difference to week number 2 and the normal tuck planche is that you have your hips much higher. As we started in the regular tuck planche position with our hips slightly above the ground, now we try to elevate them and hold the position at the highest point. That means 1, 2. As you might not be able to hold the position at the highest point immediately, you should do this swing motion. So we start in the regular tuck planche position and then we try to shoot up with our hips fast and explosive. That means 1, 2. And at that point we still do not straighten or open any leg. Very important hereby is that you just do not shoot up and fall on the ground. You should do everything slowly and controlled, and if you're at the highest point, try to hold it for as long as you can and then go slowly down, kind of like in a negative. To do the negatives is really important, not only for this exercise but in general, so make sure to do that always. We start here, go up, we shoot up and hold this position here for as long as we can. There are 2 things which make the advanced tuck planche very difficult. First of all, you will need much more strength, as your body will be almost vertical, kind of like in a handstand, to hold this position. And secondly, it's the shift of balance which makes this move harder. So if you shoot up, you will feel that your body will lean more towards the front and you will have definitely a higher impact on your wrists. By the way, if you will have wrist pain while you do all of these exercises, I made another video how to relieve wrist pain and treat it the best way, so check out this link above. To more or less avoid it, start to bend already as much as you can to the front. Another really amazing exercise which will help you a lot with the advanced tuck planche is to lean against the wall. That means you position yourself just in front of the wall and then you climb it up while you try to hold this position here. And then you try to go slightly away from the wall. This is kind of like in a handstand, but try to lean to the front a bit as well. Another amazing exercise, which is just one of the best to strengthen your core and your upper body, is to do a planche leaning towards the wall. So you go up a wall with your legs, then you slide down and try to hold yourself horizontally. This is really hard, but if you're able to hold this for a couple of seconds, it will definitely boost your whole planche game. And the last and final week is the way to the straddle planche. As soon as you're able to hold an advanced tuck planche, the straddle planche is not far away. Alright, it's the beginning of week 4 and now you should be able to hold this position here. If you can do this, you'll be fine. And now it gets again a bit more difficult. Here we finally start to open the legs. What personally works for me best and how I learned it the fastest way is as I did it step by step from one side to the other. Like in week 1 in this easy position, we jump up, hold this, and then we try to stretch one leg and bring it in and go slowly down. Do not only put the legs to the side, but try to also bring them to the back. And that took me definitely a while, as this is a complete different motion, and the farther you stretch your leg out, the harder it will be. And when you're finally at the point where you can stretch one leg and bring it in again, you should do it with both. Importantly, in the beginning, do not do this step by step. Do not stretch one leg and then the other. This will be way too difficult. You lose a lot of energy if you try to slowly go up, elevate your hips and then stretch your legs. Of course, on the long term, this is very good. So, 1, 2. I know all of these exercises are high intensity, but don't forget to breathe properly the whole time, as you will lose a lot of energy if you don't. What I really want to bring close to you is that I do not assume that you can hold those things as I show you in the video immediately. Of course, I jump from week 1 to week 2 and I make like a huge progress, but if you will really do that, you will see how actually difficult that is. But it is possible if you do it consistently. The other big point is variation. Variation is really important so that you engage different parts of your body and different muscle groups. That's what calisthenics is actually all about. You are good if you can hold one position for a very long time, but you are amazing if you can do transitions with that. But you can only learn them if you do not just do static exercises, but if you can combine the static exercises in a fluent way. I always do sets of 3, that means I do 3 exercises in a row with smaller breaks in between and then I have a bit longer break. And then I do again 3 and so on. And I do not have a total amount, I just do it until I'm exhausted. But of course, like always in sports, try to push through the resistance and also train even though it hurts. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching, good luck with the straddle planche and please don't hurt yourself. If you like this video, support my educational sports channel with a like or comment and subscribe and click on the bell to stay up to date. Stay healthy and see you next time.